So yeah, this is the makeup routine that I filmed for Rüya the other day. It's just what I'm doing at the moment for summer and everything, and I had someone ask about it, so I thought I would just film it properly. But yeah, essentially, I feel like doing your makeup in summer is a lot, not harder, but like kind of, you don't get to play around as much as you would with makeup as you would in the winter, just because everything cakes up and creases up so quickly. So this is like kind of how I avoid that issue, because I feel like a lot of people just like try to mattify for summer, but I just think that doesn't actually work very well. So that's just what I do. Um, yeah, it's really fast. It's what I do on the way to work every single morning, which I'm going to now. Um, and yeah, it's just really easy. Essentially, I'm gonna just be talking, so it's gonna take up way more time than it should be, but it does take about like 5 minutes if I'm doing this on my own. And it's really glowy. That's like what it's focused on. But yeah, so the easiest thing for a good base is just literally sunscreen. I use this like OMN sunscreen. If you have like a glowy base from your moisturizer, from your sunscreen, whatever, it does essentially all the work for you. So that just makes everything easier. But I start off by taking the Glossier like pot concealer. I use the lightest shade, very light one. Um, and I take that with a brush, essentially, like a dense stippling brush in certain areas of my face. I really like this concealer. It's lightweight. It's not like the most coverage ever, so keep that in mind if that's what you're looking for. But I find that anything else just gets really like, you kind of have to play into what summer is for your makeup to last, which in my mind is not that much coverage. And yeah, but I put it on my chin and then like my cheeks here underneath, like where my cheekbones would be. I'm going to blend that more, but essentially that's like my placement on the bottom half of my face. And then I put a tiny, when I'm putting it in, I'm just putting the tiniest dab, but I'm putting the tiniest dab on my forehead as well. And then under my eyes as well. Yeah, I'm in Sweden at the moment for this internship, so the weather has just been different as well to acclimate. Like, I feel like, I don't know, it's not that warm. Today it is. It's really nice today, and it was really nice this weekend. Like, I'm very thankful I got to go to, we don't live near a beach, like where I'm interning in Stockholm, but like I live near a lake. So I got to go to the lake this weekend and just like swim, which was kind of nice. So I feel like this concealer looks a little bit brighter than usual, but I digress. And then yeah, any extras I take like around my nose as well there. But yeah, living in Stockholm has been cool. It's definitely different than what I'm used to. I don't think it's like my city to be in, to be honest with you. I'm not like obsessed with it. But it's nice to be here for like the internship. Like, I'm happy that I get to explore this part of the world while I'm here. And I think it also like narrows down definitely where I'd want to live in the future. I find it to be very, obviously me and Rhea go to college in Ireland, so it's a very different culture, I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, Irish people are very like, they're more open than Swedish people would be. And then I'm taking, this is actually the one powder, like you'll see me use like a lot of high-end makeup. I don't actually think you need most of it. But like this powder is like my ride or die, like I will repurchase it even if I'm broke. It's the Charlotte Tilbury like Flawless Filter Powder. Like, even the bottom is so worn off. It's the lightest shade, but it's the pressed one. It is like the one powder that I'm just setting like basically my under eye. I never read that, I just did. But it's the one powder that just won't crease on you and like cake everything up, like no matter how much you put on. Like, you'll see me dousing myself in this. This is like my third one. I've hit pan again. So yeah, this is like the one like high-end product of anything that I would recommend. And I use this like eyeshadow brush actually from Morphe, but like it's just any brush that's kind of lighter and smaller, just so you can get more into like your under eyes and everything. And I don't want to like cake or pack anything on, because again, I just feel like it won't actually last in the weather. So that's just what I've been doing. But what was I saying? Yeah, Ireland is just really, like, it's a very different culture than it is here. Like, I feel like Irish people are very warm and they're very welcoming. And not that they aren't here, because, like, they're nice, but it's just not as, like, chatty as Irish people would be. And I feel like there's not as many, like, coffee shops or, like, other things that you could, like, do or go to, or, like, where I'm at in Stockholm, I should say. And then I'm taking the Got2b glue, essentially, for my brows now. And I'm just literally lightly moving them upwards like that. But yeah, I love this brow gel as well. It's really nice. It's very, like, strong hold. And it's just, like, a clear gel. I think, yeah, I don't know. I don't really understand the concept of paying, like, $1 million for a clear brow gel. But this one, it works. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I like the work I'm doing. I'm in the lab, like, 25/8, so that's definitely different. And then I'm taking the NARS Laguna bronzer. And I'm taking this all over my face, like an excessive amount all over my face. Just because now that you've used, like, a bit of concealer and a bit of powder, I think it's nice to really warm up your skin. And, like, other people use cream bronzers. I really like this bronzer. It's a powder bronzer, just because I feel like I don't want to, like, layer products as much due to the heat. And it kind of, I feel like when you have, like, almost no base makeup on, it just makes you look a little bit crazy. If you have, like, a cream bronzer with a regular bronzer layered, like, it probably works for some people, but for me, I feel like I look a little bit crazy. But this is, like, a good balance of, like, you get a bit of, like, a good bit of bronze, but you won't, like, overdo it in any capacity. So yeah, but yes, I do like the work that I'm doing a good bit in the lab right now, so that's nice. It's definitely different than anything I've ever done, like, as in, like, in Dublin. Like, I've never done, like, any sort of intensive internship like this where I'm, like, living here and really, like, giving my all to working on something, and I have to write a report and present it later on at Cambridge, so that'll be cool. But yeah, just because of it at the moment, like, I'm trying to, like, not do this as much, where I'm just literally in the lab all the time, because not that I'm an overachiever, I don't know if I'd count it as that. I just like things done a certain way, and I can really let work, like, envelop me, which I don't think is healthy. Like, I think it's important to have habits and everything. And there's also not to say that the university or, like, my supervisor is forcing me to do this. Like, that's just me. That's just my personality. But, like, I'm trying to be a little bit more on, like, focusing on also making time for myself and not creating, like, a bunch of extra work for myself that I don't need to do. Which I find it very hard to balance, because, like, if I also think something's interesting, which I like what I'm doing at the moment, like, if I think something's interesting, I'm really full into it. But it's, yeah, probably not the best. Anyways, I'm taking the Pocket Blush by Rhode in Sleepy Girl, and I'm putting 2 swipes on each cheekbone. I like to focus my blush on my cheekbones personally, mostly, just because I tend to have higher cheekbones, so that's just where I like to put my blush most of the time. Obviously, whatever blush placement works for you, do it. But yeah, for me, I find that my cheekbones, it tends to be better up here. And I just use, like, a denser little brush like that. But yeah, it's hard for me to not get, like, completely enveloped by work and, like, what I'm doing, which is semi-unfortunate, because I definitely should be exploring a little bit more of Stockholm, which I hope to do soon as well. I mean, to be fair, I only really have the weekends, but my time here is, like, I was here for a month, and now I'm gonna be here for 1 more month. So with the time that I have, like, it's definitely nice to see other parts around. But yes, I'm taking the blush there, and then any extra I have, like, on here, I just put on the tip of my nose and, like, the tiniest bit on my forehead. And then I check to make sure I don't look absolutely crazy with my placement, but I think it looks fine. And that's actually pretty much it for the face. Like, I'm gonna set it with the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray here. I douse my face in this. But yeah, you don't need all these like products. Like I just really like spending my money on makeup. If you have like a really lightweight concealer, there's that. And then I just cannot, like a dewy setting spray essentially, but I really just cannot recommend what is it, the Flawless Filter like pressed powder enough. That's the one thing that I'm like, you actually can't dupe it. Like you can't make any other powder that's like it. But that's just me. I'm gonna do my mascara off camera and come back when it's done, because I need to be like right next to a mirror to do anything. But I curl my lashes, and then you also don't need to. I just have two that are open. I use the Volume 1 Touch Waterproof Mascara by Note on my upper lashes, and then the L'Oreal Paris Telescopic on my bottom lashes. Waterproof is nice for the summer, so it's not like everywhere all over your face, but also I like kind of how this looks more. I know this is Rüya's like favorite, but like low-key this one. I like this on my upper lashes, but I think on my lower lashes it gets a little crazy too quickly, so I really like this for that. But maybe this is also, I've just opened it and I've just started using it, and I like, you know when mascaras are just kind of like that, when you just open them and they're not like, not the best, but they're not their full potential. You have to let them cook for like a month. So we'll see what that's like in a month and if I actually like it more. But yeah, I'm just gonna come back when I'm done with that and do my lip combo. Okay, so I've taken my hair out, and then I've done my mascara there. It's kind of what it looks like. I don't know if you see what I mean by how like fluttery this is. This eye was like there, but how fluttery this is versus like how separated that is with the L'Oreal Telescopic. That's what I've been liking. And then this is my lip combination. It is so easy. It's the Makeup by Mario Sculpting Lip Pencil in Almond. I love this lip liner and I love the brush at the end. And then I also use the Clarins Lip Perfector in the shade 25 at the moment. But yeah, essentially what I do is, this is like the last step, finally. It's the last step, is I take the lip pencil and then I go around the edges, essentially like that. And then I just do a line right in the middle. And I take the, capped it there, but I take the brush end now, and I don't go anywhere near the outside edge. I kind of go a little bit on the inside edge. And tap it in the center slightly. And then I take the Clarins Lip Perfector there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I do for my makeup on the daily. I know I've been talking for a good minute, but this is what it looks like. I wish I had a bit of better lighting, but this is what it looks like. I like it. I like that it can bring out your natural features as well. Like I get really freckly. I don't know if you can kind of see on the camera, but I get really freckly in the summer. So for me, I really like when you can see my freckles through my makeup. That's a bit of me. So I have to run off to work, but that is what I've been doing, and just embracing that, yeah, you're gonna get dewy throughout the day. It's summer. It is what it is. If you're someone with oily skin, I would just carry around like a pressed powder to just touch up once in a while. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Thanks so much. Bye.